Phil Davis, Ancestry Lands, ancestrylands.com, folks. Driving home on a sweltering day. I mean, it is like, what, 90-something degrees out here? I want to ask you guys, are you preparing for the life that you want? Are you working towards the life that you say you want? The life that you say you want to have? I'm also going to say that for those that are busy doing their work, or you're looking around and you're people who like to multitask, people who like to do more than one thing at a time, put the speakers on and listen. I often said that knowledge is not something that has to be watched, it can be heard. And I'm asking that question because you got a lot of people out here claiming that they're on the path, they're on the journey, they're on their destination. But when you actually peel back the layers and you do a little bit more digging with them, you can see they actually don't have any evidence to show that they're on the path that they so-called claim they want to be. You got a lot of men out here talking that boss talk, acting like they're able to provide for you ladies, and they don't have 2 nickels to rub together, let alone 2 dimes. They can't tell you how to build wealth. They can't tell you how to generate income, how to generate income in a velocity income. They don't have any. They don't have any ways to enrich you and nor enrich the others around you. All they've got is a good pipe, maybe 6'7". Maybe they got some money in their bank, but money, again, is a finite resource. They don't have any way to generate that money long term. You can access the money, but there's nothing accessible to you. Because, again, once he cuts it off, then you don't longer have access. So really, you don't have anything that's accessible. It's only permissible. Bars. So I say again, are you looking around the people that you see, associate yourself with, that are also showing evidence? They're showing proof. They're showing some tangible results that they are actually doing the things that they say they claim they want in life. They're on the road to wealth. Well, do you see any indicators that they're building it? You know, you got girls out there looking for a good man. Are they doing the things to qualify themselves for a good man to come in? You don't get a good man when at the end of the road. You got to qualify for that good man. How are you qualifying if you're not building any skills that could actually grab a good man, that could qualify yourselves for a good man and what a good man is worth? You can't turn around and say, I'm going to be a good woman today, now at this time, if you don't practice good person habits. It's like any muscle. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. And you got guys out there giving you trickonomics, trickology, and all sorts of things of manipulation to try to say that they have value when value should be observable. You know, you don't have to, you could see Denzel and watch him and his environment. You can tell people are valuable by, one, who comes around them, who associates with them. Are they listened to or are they spoken to? And if they're spoken to, are the people that are speaking to them knowledgeable? Are these people of value themselves? If that's the case and you don't see that, then these people are not valuable. Because even kings have consults, people that consult them about knowledge and all things associated with the value that's within their kingdom. Do you have consults? People that give you good education or knowledge or good advice when it's needed. Oh, goodness gracious. Look at this right here. This is crazy. And I don't see a lot of people with those same resources, that same knowledge and power base. I don't see that. I don't see men and women filtering each other out and saying that I've got a group of people around me that increase my value, that help me to stay valuable, that can be of value to me and the others around them so long as they qualify for my group. Can you connect two people on two different planes and bring value and create value between those two people? Do people look to you for value to be brought to them? Do they? And I ask these things for you to take a self-assessment, for you to look at yourself and say, how can I increase my value? And your value is not your value, because again, gold is good. Gold is great. I love gold. But gold is nothing if there's not a market for it. So again, you could have $1 million, but if $1 million is no longer a currency, you've got nothing. So again, are you building value? Are you attaching yourself with friends and people that are able to bring in value to the network? How do you do that? Well, again, do you have CPAs? Do you have lawyers on retainer? Do you have accountants that could be of use to other people who might need accounting to be done? And again, when you build up these resource networks like that, you can start to access them and bring business to them. And they can bring business to you or bring value to you. Shout out to Rusted Junk, also on YouTube. Again, came to me looking for an accountant. I didn't have an accountant that would fit him, but I reached out to the next person in my resource bank. And that book of contacts that I needed. And I connected him with the right person because I'm resourceful. I have resources, but if they're not my resources, I know how to point you to the person that I can get to be a resource to you. That's called being resourceful. And are you resourceful? And then also, how do you think the people that are resourceful to you? There's got to be some kind of reciprocation other than a thank you and I got what I want. That's where the biggest problem I see lies. Now, how do you treat those who they take time to break bread with you? You know, again, is it always you got to give something back? No, but sometimes you got to pay it forward. And other times, yeah, you got to pay something back. You got to pay tribute. And tribute comes in all forms of ways. But tribute must be paid. You got a lot of people trying to shorten out the line and get what they can get, but what they're getting is 50 cents when they could be learning about $1, how to make $1. You got people trying to take 100% of 50 cents instead of half of $1. And you say, wasn't it the same thing? No. Because for one, you took the whole thing and you'll never get back. The other one, you split. Which means there's probably more coming. But people don't understand that. They're going to say, well, I got my 50 cents. I'm good. Yeah, until the 50 cent runs out, and then you need another one. But people close their purse strings up to you. They don't want to give you access anymore. And that's a lot of times because people don't want to do any upfront work. Everybody wants the value when they have no value. Now, it's different when you got somebody with a name associated with them. They've got some proof of concept. Like, you don't go to Warren Buffett and start asking about pricing with him. You go for the conversation, the connection. You get into pricing later. And when you're a nobody, when I said you've got no weight to your name, people can't Google you, people can't research you, people can't formulate a value, your market value. Not your assumed market value, but the market value that you would have based upon others' perception of you. That's the next topic. Now, how do you build that value? And again, the market decides what your value is, not you. And that's the problem. Everybody's got their own price tag on themselves. No, you don't go into an art museum and the painting tells you what it decides on the value of what it is. You don't ask a blow pop or a piece of stick of gum what you're pricing. The price is set by the market. So if the price is set by the market in other things, then why would the price of the the value of you, the estimated value, why would that be any different than that value being set by others in any kind of market? No, you can't hang with a Warren Buffett if you don't have an estimated value to be somewhere in the net worth of some, couple millions. You need a couple commas in your net worth in order to be able to talk with him. And just because you might have the same money or commas as he does in your net value, he may decide that you still are not useful to him. But then again, there is the saying, birds of a feather flock together. And there's a reason for that. Yeah, it was funny because it reminds me of when I was at the Melanin Market some odd years ago in Willingboro, New Jersey. Shout out to Corey X. And I had a guy come up to me and he's like, oh man, do you need drone photography? And I said, yeah, I do drone photography. I'm very interested in having a drone photographer. Now, what he did was he went to go and try to sell me and pitch. He made a pitch. It's like kicking game, like I'm some kind of girl. You're going to woo me and woo my money, my business with a bunch of game. You didn't have a catalog. You didn't have a website. And not only on top of that, even if he had all those things, his presentation was such, and I've talked about this in other videos, his presentation was such that I didn't see an immediate value. I didn't see a person that was worthy of associating myself with business. And I'm not saying every photographer's got to be in a three-piece suit, but you can't be smelling like you're smoking weed when you're trying to talk to me. I can't refer you to someone that is outside of those cultural norms and say, hey, I can't refer you to a white client nor a white business person, because again, you present your uniform as presenting as someone who doesn't do business well. How can I refer you to bring you more money if your presentation is not such that it looks professional? Now, you can be eccentric all you want. I don't care about that. Artists are artists. But at the same time, I don't see anything of other professionalism around me. Where at the same time, I'm dressed in some khakis. I'm dressed in my logo, my brand, my polo shirt. I have my associate Eric with me. Not now, but at the time, he's in the same uniform of business. You know what I mean? When you go to Verizon or any place like that, you look for people who are wearing the company uniform. Now, if everybody's just wearing jeans and whatever kind of shirt they want and tank tops, I wouldn't be inclined to go and ask them for any kind of help that's got to do with my cell phone. And that's just an example about how your presentation means everything. That's why if you walk into a Target with a red polo on and some brown khakis, people are going to think you work there, because they're going to associate you with that uniform. Even if you're just wearing those colors for any other reason. You walk around Stanford and you're wearing red and white, Stanford University, that is, in California, you're wearing red and white, people are going to think you go to that college because you're sporting the school colors. If you go to USC, University of Southern California, and you're wearing gold and crimson or maroon, they're going to think you go to that school. No more than if you go to LSU and you're wearing purple and yellow, they're going to think you go to LSU. You see what I mean? They're going to associate you with the logo, the brand, what the people are wearing. They're going to associate you with that. So again, if you don't have a professional catalog, you don't have anything in the business card, your presentation looks off, well, what separates you from everyone else? I at least want a person who presents a little bit better, because I can bring you into areas where other people can utilize you and you can be useful to the group. Which means that in order to have that happen, now again, I'm layering things in here now if you want to follow me closely. As we build upon, your resource network, bringing value, have people bring value to you, having others in your group that can create a value or be useful and resourceful. And then I'm talking about how you can be resourceful, but your presentation has to be there too as well. Which means you got to be aware when you go out and you engage in business, you got to be aware that people are going to perceive you and judge upon you. Excuse me. They're going to judge you based upon preconceived notions and perceived notions. Because the preconceived notions is I'm a black man, muscular, coming up to a person, and I tend to look more aggressive in my presentation. So knowing that, I walk up to people and I smile. I greet them because they're usually reserved. They don't know whether I'm going to, I have a size to me. Excuse me. So when I come up to them and I greet them with a smile and say hello, and I'm very engaging, I disarm people from their preconceived notion. Now, once you disarm a person in that conversation by the initial greeting, because remember, your first impression is your best impression, but your first impression is a lasting impression. That's what people are going to take away with them, is how they first met you. You ever dating a girl, the first time you saw her or met her, it stays in your mind more than the 5th time you saw her. You may not even remember the 5th time, but your first time, you always remember that one, whether it's good or bad, because the first impression is a lasting impression. So again, I'll say to you on that, you disarm them by being engaging, being smiling, using your smile to make sure people understand, hey, I'm friendly and I'm approachable. How are you? I'm taking that initiative. Your handshake, is it a strong handshake, or does it look like you fold like paper mache when I grab your hand? Now, I'm not looking to go, Samson versus Goliath here, where we're doing a test of strength. This is not Hulk versus Thor. This is simply that I want to see that you have a firm grip. You're engaging. You're looking me in the eyes. When you're talking to me, you're looking at me. You're making direct eye contact. And you're not bumbling and stumbling all over your words as if you're unsure of what you are and who you are. This is why practice makes perfect. Practice presenting. What do you think all these videos are for? These videos are me practicing how to talk, how to speak better. And you do that by getting in front and making mistakes and learning from them. Too big of a truck to be making moves like that. And again, you're aware of your presence, how people perceive you. And when you go to speak about yourself, you want to make sure that you're speaking with a certain comfortableness, a certain cadence. So that way people understand that, hey, look, you know what? This person sounds sure of themselves. They know what they're talking about. They've done their research. They've done their homework. When they're presenting to me, they're creating the value of interest in this conversation. I'm interested in doing business with them. I'm interested in talking to them. I'm interested in hearing more of what they have to say. Because one, the dialogue itself has to be something that is tangible. It's got to be a good piece of steak I can bite into. And also on top of that, how you deliver it matters too as well. You got to speak to my passions, my heart. You can't just speak to, I'm just going to tell you this and knowledge and blah, 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 and why this is better and it's just good and it's that. And the same way as this is that we all know what's good for us, right? But why do we eat junk food? I'll tell you why. The reason why is because of how it's sold to us. They don't sell you junk food telling you how bad it is for you. They sell you junk food why? They tell you junk food showing you all the glamours and glitz and how it's juicy, how it's satisfying. They sell it and dress it up in a certain way. And I'm saying that you have to have similar qualities in the same way you're selling junk food. And again, you might say, yeah, that's good, but you're selling junk. No, you're not selling junk. You're learning the art of selling. Because again, your presentation does matter. Even in that show, Iron Chef, right? The presentation always, it don't matter if the food tastes good, they always frown a little bit when the presentation is not there. So again, you got to remember those key things, man. People are watching you. This is why I come up here shaved and trimmed and, try to be presentable. People are always watching you. Just remember that. Now, you could tell me to go to hell. You could tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, but you can also pay for the results too as well. The decision is yours, but so are the consequences too as well. Any which way, folk, I'm going to keep it short. I am your host, Philip Davis. Don't forget the link to my description of my book is in the description section below. Getting Dollars from Dirt, a beginner's guide to vacant land investing. written by yours truly. The link is in the description below. The book is on Amazon. Also, remember, you can get property from ancestrylands.com. The link is also in the bottom section of the description section. Link directly to my website. And remember, folks, you either own property or you'll be owned this property. I'm your host, Philip Davis. I hope you've been educated, enlightened, and least of all, entertained, all right? Take care, folks. Like, share, subscribe.
Are you confused with today's real estate market? With high interest rates and overpriced housing, it can be hard to find something to own at the right price. Available on Amazon, Getting Dollars from Dirt by author Philip H. Davis is a game-changing book that invites you to embark on a thrilling exploration of this often overlooked asset class. This book is your roadmap to unlocking the secrets of vacant land investment. Inside these pages, you will uncover the transformative power of vacant land as a wealth-building tool. Discover how to spot promising properties, assess their true value, and capitalize on market trends. From understanding zoning and permits to leveraging financing strategies, you'll gain the knowledge and confidence to make savvy investment decisions. With each page you turn, you'll gain a deeper understanding of the profound impact your investments can have on the world around you. Getting Dollars from Dirt is not just a guidebook, it's a call to action. Whether you're a seasoned investor or a curious novice, this book will empower you to tap into the immense potential of vacant land and embark on a journey toward financial freedom and a brighter future.